Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Taurus May 2023 reading and forecast high. I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant, and I've done a number of one-on-one clairvoyant readings with many Taurians over the course of the last month, and you know who you are. And if you might be interested to see what's involved, just check out the information that's in the description box below. Now, I charge for clairvoyant readings, as you would expect. But what I do not charge for, and what is free, is that I offer one-on-one healings to you over FaceTime or Skype, unless you happen to live in my city, which is probably unlikely. And that is completely free and without obligation. I was bestowed with the spiritual gift of healing when I was a child, and if you would like to take advantage of it, just contact me. It's free without any obligation whatsoever. And you won't be sold anything or recommended anything. Now we're going to take 5 cards, and as the subscribers know, and always great to see the subscribers, I really look forward to seeing you each month, truly I do. As you know, there are no video advertisements in this content, so you get to enjoy the experience uninterrupted by such crass and commercial things. But now, let's take 5 cards, shall we? Because 5 is all we need, don't we, as the subscribers know, because they speak volumes to us. Let's see what's in store. There is the 10 of Cups. What's this one? The King of Swords. Here is Judgment. A particularly lovely Judgment card there, I must say. Here is the Empress. We can go past the Empress. What? And what is there here? There is the 6 of Pentacles. Marvelous. Well, as is our usual practice, why don't you come now? Sit down here next to me. We'll have a good close look at the imagery on these cards together while I do the reading for you. Gee, you've got a real Japanese artistic theme going on down this right column, haven't you? I think we might run up this. Just seems to me I'm being told to go up this diagonal here. So let's have a look at first the Empress. The Empress. Let's have a look at the painting first, shall we? And see what there is here. Well, the Empress stands outside, enveloped in luxurious nature. Lush green trees to either side of her and blue skies above. In this scene of abundance, everything about her shows her deep connections to nature. She is in a sense the archetypal Earth Mother. Now her dress is full of blossoming flowers, and within her lily skirt we see the stamen and the pollen, which represent sexuality and fertility. Now you'll see in here, there is a little baby growing within her there. And so she's pregnant, and she tenderly cradles her unborn baby under her dress. And she holds a crown in her hands, ready, I suppose, to place upon the baby's head as a gesture of protective love. So I have a real sense of the energy of the Mother Earth around you. The planet Venus is all around here. Beauty, love. Of course, Venus is your ruling planet, isn't it? There's unimaginable love, parenthood, beauty, creativity, lots of emotions, but harmonious emotions here. Luxury, good fortune and success. And I must say, you'll be cutting a very elegant figure. There's vibrant health and sensuality as well, abundance, and I do think that you will have the ability to relate to animals, trees, plants. You'll be harmonizing with the natural rhythms, I think. Now, she herself is the warm, soft, and sensual unfolding of nature. She is the earthly aspect of the heavenly virgin priestess, the nature of motherhood, or parenthood really, and the boundless power of nature in bringing forth new life. Now, because she's appeared in your reading at this position, she's telling you that this is a period of gentle fusion and affection that is needed in order for a new birth to develop. Now, this Well, you may hear of a physical human birth, but for the birth of ideas and for creative projects or things that you're doing around the house or the garden or what have you. Now, while the High Priestess in the Tarot, and you'd be familiar with that card, it's not in this spread here, of course, that's mainly concerned with spiritual matters. Very much here, I'm getting the feeling of the physical realm with the Empress. She is the gateway from which new life and creativity is born, and like nature, her character is one of tender love for all forms of life. Now imagine relaxing in a vivid summer garden surrounded by warm light, vegetation, flowers, singing birds, and the hum of insects, feeling in harmony with the delicate flow of peaceful activity. This is the spirit of the Empress. Her lightness and love pervade all life, and her gentle devotion nourishes and cultivates everything in its passive unfolding. Now, as your planet Venus is here, this says that there is a love, a source, a life source encompassing your life at the moment. There's a becoming, a transforming, and a returning with natural peace, serenity, and acceptance. Now, while her nature is one of gentleness, the Empress is she also has an active role. Her possessive nature is evident in her devotion, whether in love, work, or creativity, often stirring feelings of great excitement. And as I say, she can sometimes be the messenger of a new child. Now, I said we were going to go up that diagonal, so let's have a look at this card, which is the Judgment card, the Major Arcana, as you would no doubt be aware. Now, here we have a female angel, a messenger of God. Actually, angel means messenger. It comes from the Greek angelos, meaning messenger, which was a translation of it first came about as a translation of the Hebrew Bible in about 200 BC into Greek, because most Jews at the time they lived outside of what is today Israel. Now, she's standing in the middle of a busy city, calling all the people to rise up and take a stand. Now, she is a reminder that in the end we will all be judged for our actions and life choices, but past mistakes will be forgiven when you choose to change and make a new start. And this card urges you to make amends and transform your life. It urges you to ask, who am I really, and why am I here, and how should I live? Well, the spirit of the primal fire is what I call her. And this says to me that you will be making a clear decision and maybe taking a direct step or a firm stand in relation to something. I'm sure this guy must have something to do with this as well, because he's touching onto it here. There's an eternal energy moving forward with you. There's a birth of things, a generation, almost a resurrection in a sense, where you transform the old and you turn it into something new. There is forgiveness and redemption and liberation, and there is the atonement for past mistakes. Now, there is the birth of the new and recognizing your true calling. Now, there are improvements in the air, or promotions, and certainly there's a great feeling of freedom around you now. Now, I think that also the message here is that there is a situation or issue that can be solved by making a clear judgment. Now, in order to do this, you must weigh all the elements and qualities to come to an objective and decisive viewpoint. Now, the card is a sign for you to make a decision and to act upon it. The judgment is made from a detached place, I think, fairly measuring the various viewpoints to arrive at a true appraisal. This is, I think, a real theme for you this month, this fairness that's here. I think there also is a reconciliation about and learning lessons from the past. In essence, this energy is about weighing the actions and events of the past in order to put them to rest, allowing you to experience new beginnings, ideas, and horizons. It is a call to a new age and a final decision. Now, this is telling you that judgments are necessary. The effects of past events lead to the germination of a new seed or beginning for you now. And this is urging you to consider any issue or matter carefully and then commit yourself without reservation. Now, rather than spending time rethinking a decision, you should use all your powers in fulfilling its outcome. And when you have taken time to compare and understand all the perspectives, well, you will be given the power and the knowledge of each of those perspectives, allowing you to use them towards fulfilling your plans. Now, being objective and impartial allows you to see the true essence of things, free from any personal opinions. This type of judgment involves a criticism that's based on just deep thinking, sometimes called contemplation. You might need to talk to people, negotiate things, and use wisdom. And this approach, of course, leaves room for redemption and understanding, allowing you to build your new future. This energy is not a rejection of your past, but it is the fuel for the flames of the new, a beginning that creates itself from the end of what has gone before. We then turn to King of Swords' son. Let's have a look at this esteemed. He looks like a samurai, doesn't he? You won't know it, but when I was a little boy, I used to dress up as a ninja, but I was always concerned that I could never undertake their great feats of flying through the air and different things, although I did try jumping off the roof several times, fortunately to no ill effect. He is the fiery aspect of air, this guy here, and he's telling me that there is within you active and dynamic thought, energetic and creative thinking, which is no doubt as a result of this judgment card that's here. You'll be analytical, perceptive, and you'll have reason and logic left over to spare. You'll be quite forthright, I think, in moving forward and in how you put your views across, but you'll be intelligent, strategic, methodical, imaginative, quite versatile, I think. You will be very sociable. People are going to find you very attractive, and you'll have the ability to get ideas across in a very simple and understandable way. There's objectivity here, clarity. And look, the Lord of Knife, this Lord here, when I say knife, swords, he's a master of mental abilities, and his intellect is energized, creative, and dynamic, and this is what you will be. He is rational in his thinking, with tremendous powers of analysis, logic, and strategic problem solving. And what he is able to do is he indicates that you will be clever, skillful, really quite shrewd, I would say, in many respects, quite canny, I won't say cunning, but you'll be very street smart in how you approach things, and you'll have a deep understanding as to what's going on around you. Now, you'll have the ability to recognize connections between things and understand information quickly, and you'll be able to present brilliant ideas. You will be clever, skillful, and really you'll know when to move and what to say and at what is the right time. Now, he is versatile enough to see all aspects of a situation or issue, using his keen mental ability to see all the parts that make up the whole, But by being impartial to only one truth or viewpoint, he can use his objective thought to cut through to the heart of any issue, really. Now, I think that you'll have strong intellectual powers and a lot of creative ideas and thoughts. There's almost here I'm getting the feeling of the mind of a scientist or a mathematician or of a philosopher. You'll have a sharp mind and you will recognize no one truth as fact, but you'll continually refine your ideas by sort of experimenting mentally until you reach what you think is a satisfactory conclusion. Now, you'll be able to change direction rapidly, developing ideas, rejecting others, or combining what seem to be contradictions. You'll be good at learning new skills, especially those that relate to communication, problem solving, and dynamic thinking. You'll have keen insight and judgment, and you'll be concerned about truth and justice. And you'll measure and divide with his knife or his blade here of clarity. You'll be ethical, ambitious, and stimulating, and I think you'll be quite determined and goal-oriented and forging ahead with plans and realizing your brilliant ideas. Now that takes us, I think, to this. Where will we go? We'll go to this one, I think. 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups above the Empress, opposite the King, and abutting onto Judgment. Let this sink into you. Let's look at the painting first. And well, here we see a scene full of peace and harmony. There's a couple, half human, half fish. They're emerging from the sea to watch a rainbow brightening up the sky. They are connected by their true, everlasting love. The 10 little small fish, the baby fish that they have here, they are protected underneath the mother's plant-like dress. I think this affirms the depth of emotional bonds and reminds you to count your blessings. Now, with that position as to where the card is and connected to those other cards, as I mentioned, it's also opposite the Six of Pentacles. This means it's Mars in Pisces. Well, you might think that that's a problem, that Mars is a very aggressive planet and in peaceful spiritual Pisces is going to be a difficulty. Well, Pisces, of course, is a feminine sign. Mars, not only is it the ruler of Aries, but Mars is also the ruler of Scorpio. And Scorpio is a water sign, as is Pisces. And Scorpio is a nocturnal sign. And Mars rules at night in the water sign. And in this case, it's also in Pisces in a water sign. So the activity of Mars is very much that about protection. It's very much about development. It's not about destruction. It's about making things happen. It's about making things grow. So I see here the manifestation of emotion, emotional wholeness and harmony, home and family around you here. The end of tensions and hostilities. There may well be some degree of prosperity around you, I think, and certainly you'll have high levels of self-esteem. There's a lasting success coming into your life. Luscious, succulent warmth is descending upon you. Now, there's the establishment of the inner emotional kingdom here. I think this represents for you a lasting happiness, success, and emotional wealth. It symbolizes deep fulfillment and stability in your emotional world. Tranquility, peace of mind, and long-term contentment characterize this energy. Now, this here is implying a perfect happiness around your home life and a calm serenity and inner peace. Now, this relates, I think, really to your practical life and your more conscious feelings, presenting you with a secure foundation for your emotions, I think. This is a time of emotional stability, of warmth and tender sentiments. Now, it can relate to home life, as I say, but there's a lasting contentment in a loving environment, which may not necessarily just be connected with the home. This happiness and prosperity are on the horizon, leading to an enduring joy and success. And this can also indicate, given the presence of Mars in Pisces, an end to emotional tensions or conflicts, either with others or within your own heart. As this perfect happiness is inspired from above, it touches you at the deepest level. The inner blissfulness is reflected in your external world. I think that you are being encouraged to realign your feelings with the qualities and vibrations of this energy. If you are feeling overly emotional, which can sometimes happen in Pisces, then you must still your heart until feeling peaceful and feeling the warmth that's around you. And if you are feeling uninspired, you should stimulate your emotional vibrations. You will know when you have achieved a closer rhythm with this spiritual energy, when you begin to feel a euphoric sense of tranquility. This energy can be an indication that you should be patient and allow things to develop naturally. And in more general terms, I think this is definitely signifying for you great success, high self-esteem, and fulfillment. In love or relationships, it represents long-lasting affection, emotional security, warmth, and bliss. And that takes us finally, I think, to... Is it finally? Let's have a look. What did we did that column. Let's go down here. We haven't done this. Now, this has got success like this written all over it. But let's have a look, shall we? First of all, what's going on? That looks like some sort of a Japanese tea ceremony. I think that this painting is talking about sharing and receiving. Two women are holding their cups, waiting patiently to get some tea. Now, the owner of the big teapot pours 6 drops of tea, doesn't he, into each of the women's cups. Now, you see these scales here that are on the side there, on the side of the teapot surface? I think they stand for the fairness in the man's distribution. Maybe in the future the situation will change and he will be the one in need and the women will return his generosity. Now, in this position and with these other cards around it and here, the astrology for this is, you know how Venus is the ruler of your planet, of your sign rather? Well, in this astrology, you actually have the moon coming into Taurus, into your sign. And the moon is exalted in your sign of Taurus. You probably know that. Which means that Venus receives the moon as an honored guest, and the moon is able to really make use of its beneficial qualities. And the moon loves nurturing and comfort. And in Taurus, well, you like sensuality and the finer things of life, don't you? So they're really well suited to each other. So the astrology is really very good, fortunately. Now, what I see here is prosperity and triumph over some difficulty that you've had. Generosity, I think, going both ways, paying things forward. There's material gain here and a nice harmonious balance of things. But there's a great degree of kindness and tolerance around you. I think that's come from the card energy that was there before, which was talking about understanding all different points of view. There's a peace of mind, the dawn of a new day, in a sense. Well, that's what that judgment card was talking about, and promising a self-awakening and certainly overcoming a crisis. You'll have great flexibility and ability here. Now, this is about success, I'll be blunt. But the type of success here is one that flows from your inner depths. It has its origin in your inner unconscious, which is the moon, which channels it from your higher self into material manifestation and external expression. Now, the success is the flow of thick, warm lifeblood, the blood of the Holy Grail. Now, when this card appears, as it has done, something wonderful is about to happen. To get a clear picture of what this might be, look around at these other cards that we've spoken of. The wonder of and the blessing of this energy could be anything: a gift, a pleasant surprise, the granting of a wish, a moment of wonder, or a feeling of deep well-being. On a material level, the card signifies a windfall, perhaps, or reaping the rewards of your efforts and material gain. Its prime characteristics are abundance, generosity, and prosperity, full of promise and delight. Now, the sixes here, they represent the sun, and they have a great connection with Christ consciousness, Vishnu consciousness, Krishna consciousness for me. And this sun also settles on the nutritious earth of Taurus. This creates immense feelings of security and infuses your earth with solar energy, thereby causing life to thrive and blossom in fullness and beauty. This is a time of rich warmth and plenty, almost like an earthly paradise in some respects. In general, I think this refers to an improvement in circumstances, or that an issue is to be resolved in such a way that you gain blessing from its conclusion. Now, whatever your pleasure, it will be given in abundance. Now, this six is a symbol of luck, wishes, and magic charms. Visualize success fulfilling your heart and overflowing. In the area of career, it signifies helping others, working as a team, problem solving, and a clear path opening up before you. And the realm of love, this card symbolizes tremendous empathy and an enduring bond. Well, what a fascinating spread of cards for you this month. Well done, you. I trust you enjoyed that as much as I did providing it to you. I certainly enjoyed providing that reading to you. I always do, though, don't I? I love to see you, and thank you for having me in your home. I really do appreciate it, and I appreciate the confidence that you place in me and the warmth which you show to me. Now, I'm not going to see you again probably unless you contact me for a reading or for a healing until next month. But until then, remember one thing and one thing only, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.